So this is the third video, and we're talking about transcendent reality, if you like, or bringing the transcendent into coaching and how that can benefit clients, how it benefits ourselves, how it's it's an area that spirituality has looked at for years, but we're looking at ways that we can bring practical, applicable methods and techniques into practice to be able to enable people to experience healing and joy and personal growth in those ways. So for longer explanation, please look back over the last two videos. But in this short video, we're just going to look at a few ways that we could bring the transcendental into experience of the transcendental and healing into coaching techniques, perhaps, or practice in general. So we'll look a little bit about, we've mentioned that transcendental, in a sense, is going beyond ourself, it's going beyond the small self. So to that extent, one key method for transcending, if you like, going beyond yourself, really this is with the view that all suffering happens when a person is kind of locked within themselves and not experiencing the interconnectedness, which is the true reality of their being, we could say, but it's necessary for us to grow to be able to in order to be able to experience this, and these techniques are ways of doing that. So kindness is a very powerful method of transcending the small self, of experiencing the transcendental. And within Eastern practice, Buddhist practice, for example, the practice of metta bhavana, or development of loving kindness, is a very well established, and it's a very powerful way of working with yourself and perhaps being able to work with clients with that. That would be the discussion anyway, how we could bring that into our practice. So at first glance, if you've not heard of it, it might sound a bit like, you might think, oh yeah, kindness, it's practice of kindness. It might bring up the idea of, okay, yeah, cool, I'll just be kind to people. But in a way, that's kind of just looking at a concept of kindness, if you like. The actual practice is deeply transformative, and it accesses levels and layers of our subconscious, unconscious being or mind, and facilitates healing and change. So it's a really, really incredible practice. Meditation in general is another. So we have practices, for example, like the mindfulness of breathing. Now, breathing in many traditions, from the East, certainly India, of course, has been a key factor in health. It's also in Tai Chi. It's a key factor as well. The breath becomes regulated with the movement. So you go beyond the cogitations of the lower levels of the mind and their corollary on a level of feelings, which is often what causes oscillation and disturbance in people. So it's well known that activities such as Tai Chi, exercise, these things are really great for people's well-being. But certainly breathing exercises are very effective. And the mindfulness of breathing is an exercise which, if done properly, can exact real transformation. It can really open up the layers of the onion. It's very much like the layers of the onion, and access levels where trauma has happened, and it will just be processed automatically, because the thing that keeps trauma alive in many ways is our pushing it away. And so breathing exercises. Now, there's also, we've mentioned the term equanimity. Equanimity is a very refined state of being, and there are exercises which enable us to gain that experience. And so these exercises can be brought into practice. What they do, in essence, is reveal the defense mechanisms of many people's lives to be just that, defense mechanisms, and to be able to go to a point where the defense mechanism ceases to be there, yet it's realized straight away that the joy is there. You're just protecting something which, when you do these exercises, you can slowly realize actually doesn't need that protection. When you unify your consciousness, would be a great way to say it. You can experience real freedom from these negative states. So we can look at equanimity as well. There's also powerful and sublime understandings of the nature of a human being itself. We can look at that. And there's also then exercises from both the Buddhist and Kashmiri traditions, which are exercises which again allow us to access a deeper level of our subconscious and experience real joy and release. So we can have a look at them as well. So on the next video then, we'll just have a look at one of these exercises and just start with that one and see how we can perhaps bring this into practice.